What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project X Talk Extra, your weekly podcast supplement from Project X Talk. And yes, this is the second one this week. And yes, you're going to get two of them until the Halo show is run its course for the season. But if you don't know, this is where we cover news, games, or whatever else that we want that didn't quite make the main show. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and today I'm joined by Mr. Physical Copy himself, Ethan. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk about one of my favorite developers.
And I'm ready to talk about one of my not favorite developers. Because, guys, there has been a massive Ubisoft leak. This comes from Tom Henderson, who says that Ubisoft has big game showcase event planned with a total of 20 games lined up for the showcase. Woo! According to Tom and his sources, the following games will be shown off: Skull and Bones, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, The Division Heartland, Immortals Phoenix Rising sequel, Assassin's Creed Rift, Assassin's Creed Infinity, not Unity, that one already came out, Ghost Recon Frontline, X Defiant, Prince of Persia Sands of Time Remake, Prince of Persia Unannounced Game, The Crew 3, Mario and Rabbids Sparks for Hope, Roller Champions, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Splinter Cell Remake, and the Division mobile game, and other mobile games. They also, yeah, that's a lot. They also gave some more details about the specific games, but we can get into those as we go through it. So, Ethan, you saw the leak. What are you thinking here?
I'm excited for a lot of these projects. Skull and Bones has been something I've been waiting for forever. I honestly didn't think they were still working on it. I thought it was a dead IP. So that's good to know that they're still paying attention to it. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is something I'm excited about. Of course, Assassin's Creed. Anything Assassin's Creed I absolutely love. Prince of Persia I'm excited about. Mario and Rabbids, Splinter Cell. There's a lot of games on here that I'm really excited for. This leak isn't ground shaking. It's just saying, hey, these are the games they're working for. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Part of this leak was also that they were able to tweak their systems or their engine, whatever engine they use, to make games even bigger than what they are now.
Yes, I did see that.
Which
Great
I'm 158 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla now with this new DLC, and I'm not done yet. And I can put in some hours into some games. I've been known to put 500 hours into a few games here and there, but
ridiculous.
Consistent 150 plus hour experiences, you got to dial that back just a little bit. Ubisoft, come on now.
Ubisoft has been going that way for years. The bigger, the better, in their opinion. But if we want to go, in depth a little more, you mentioned Skull and Bones. So according to Tom Henderson, it's going to be multiplayer only, no land combat whatsoever. It is still on track to come out between this quarter and about a year from now is apparently the release date. So we could see it in the next 12 months. Avatar Frontiers Pandora, not much new news there, probably just a new trailer. I assume there's not much impacting that. That game seems pretty well into development, and I don't think there's going to be many issues there. The Division Heartland apparently is a free-to-play first-person shooter that is almost ready. Well, did you play The Division or Division 2? Okay, so they're third.
I haven't played any.
I think the big thing here is that they were third-person games.
Oh,
so apparently
were they?
Heartland is going to shift to a first-person perspective.
Yeah, you see, it's games like this, and I see a couple others on here: Ghost Recon Frontline, X Defiant. These are games that I feel like they're going to release and they're going to fizzle out like that, and nobody's going to be talking about them. So
I didn't even know. So X Defiant, obviously, we know they dropped the Tom Clancy from. Thank God, Tom Clancy is rolling in his grave.
God bless.
Apparently, we know that's another free-to-play first-person shooter that they're working on. They've already done closed tests for that. Can't see that one succeeding.
Yeah, no, nobody cares.
The one I want to talk about is Ghost Recon Frontline. I didn't know this was a thing they were working on. It's apparently a battle royale, and it's going to be free-to-play first-person shooter. And apparently it's going to be where they push their NFT agenda. This is going to be the high-end NFT marketplace for Ubisoft.
Are these humans at this point running these companies? Like, can nobody just objectively look at these things and go, yeah, this ain't gonna work? Like, I feel like everybody in the world is screaming at them, like, just don't do it, and they're just refusing. Yeah, this is going to be just another crap show, on their end. I don't know. Who cares?
I just don't know what Ubisoft is doing because, as we know, I've been
It's not
awfully
just
critical.
Ubisoft doing stuff like this, though. I mean, there's a lot of game companies that are trying to push this stuff, and consistently they keep pushing back. We saw the thing with Stalker 2 earlier this year. We saw the stuff with Square Enix around the New Year's.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
Square Enix, I don't know. I'm scared for Square Enix.
this
They
is
tend to
just,
stick to their guns, but
yeah, this is goofy.
yeah, I'm just more of the fact that like I look at this list and they're okay. Skull and Bones is a new IP, but it's just the idea came from Assassin's Creed. Avatar is a movie IP. The Division, old IP. Immortals Phoenix Rising sequels and apparently in pre-production. That game is fine.
I heard it was pretty fun.
I actually played that one.
Really?
Yeah, and I liked the story a lot. I hated all the Ubisoft nonsense that they threw, the open world. If
I eat
you
that stuff up. I love
if
it.
you could just give me an Immortals game that is just mainline Golden Path, great.
That's not what it's gonna be.
I know
though.
everything else in that game though was a drag and painful. Assassin's Creed Rift, smaller in scope title that we know Jason Schreier reported on, which maybe that's the more linear style. Maybe they're going
That's
to make
something that really does interest me.
Yeah.
Is I'm wondering how they're going to do this. Is it going to be kind of, because a lot of people have been complaining about the recent 3 Assassin's Creed titles, saying, I mean, this is just basically a fantasy RPG at this point, and it's too big. Blah 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 blah. I'm wondering if they're just working on small projects to put it out for people that want that sort of experience, and then of course Infinity is probably going to be bigger than Valhalla, and it's going to be your now traditional Assassin's Creed.
Well, I think that's a good point because apparently Assassin's Creed Infinity is the Animus will play a huge role as a new hub to transport players to different time settings.
It's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited.
This is obviously going to be following the live service model as we know, but I do think if they're going to keep that game and like constantly update it, then Rift might be something similar to the original Ezio trilogy. Where you have those more linear style, like you don't have a giant open world to go explore and do 9,000 checkpoints. I think that would go a long way to getting some Assassin's Creed fans back on board.
Yeah, I think it would. It would play to everybody that loves this series, old and new. I don't see how it would hurt them, and Ubisoft definitely has the money and the manpower to be able to pump out 2 of these games. I just hope they don't try and release them very close to each other, because I'm going to have to buy both of them, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to want to buy both. And I want newer players to experience what the old games used to be like, because a lot of people really don't like this new style, or they say it's grindy. It's just like every other Ubisoft game. It's really sad to see Assassin's Creed be put up against Far Cry and people say it's the same type of game, because that's not the Assassin's Creed I grew up with. And that Assassin's Creed was very special. So I hope they knock this out of the park. Do I have high hopes for them doing that? Not really. I'll still play it because I do like the Ubisoft formula, but we'll see.
Yep. Last one. I mean, there's a few other ones. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I'll believe it when I see it. Splinter Cell remake, we know they're working on.
That's exciting.
Roller Champions. I've never heard of this game. Apparently, it's been in development forever. Mario and Rabbids is going to come out this year, no doubt about that. Prince of Persia, I think, is the other interesting thing from this leak. So the remake was supposed to be out already. It was delayed indefinitely a few months ago because it looked rough, and that's being nice to it. But what I want to talk about specifically is this apparently second Prince of Persia game in development, because according to Tom Henderson, it's taking inspiration from the Ori games.
How topical.
And will be a 2.5D game, which I don't like that. No,
I don't. Yeah.
No, I don't want that.
It doesn't. If it's not on Game Pass, I won't play it. I mean, I don't know. When it comes to Ubisoft, I'm expecting massive third-person adventures. A 2.5D game just doesn't really interest me. It can be done right, but I don't know.
So the old school Prince of Persia games were 2D, obviously, because they were limited by the old technology. But Prince of Persia, as we know it, is a 3D action adventure game.
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's what I want. Like, if you're going to make Sands of Time, why would you then go and make a game that is not like Sands of Time?
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna release the Sands of Time remake. It's gonna, if they do it well, it's gonna reinvigorate the passion for Prince of Persia, and then they're gonna follow up on it with a 2.5D game.
Yeah,
Like,
here's a different style game.
that doesn't seem very Ubisoft like. To me, I would think they would capitalize on this and be like, let's push this as a big IP now alongside like Assassin's Creed, that kind of a style, make it a big adventure in the Prince of Persia universe. But that's kind of a weird move for them to do that. I don't get it.
I have no idea, because that Prince of Persia, the trilogy is fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
growing up playing those, absolutely amazing games. Like, if they
Mhm.
release some sort of remaster collection, I know they're doing the remake, but even a remaster collection,
I bet you they
it,
have to,
it
right?
would be great. It would
Yeah.
be fantastic to see. Um, but then they have a bunch of mobile games. I'm not
Nobody
overly
cares.
inspired. Yeah, I'm not overly inspired by this list. I think
That's to
there's
make money. That's all that's for. That's
all
the
their
grease
games are to
capital.
make money.
Well, but these are specifically for, it's not like they're doing it for the passion of it. With the mobile games, nobody's doing that. That's just to make money off of people.
Whoa, whoa. Candy Crush developers are very passionate,
So
I
passionate
imagine.
about making their little candies blow up. They love
Making
it.
Bejeweled, but with candies.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
well, Ethan, that's all we got. We will keep an eye on this to see when the showcase is announced. Perhaps sometime in the summer, E3 times,
Yep.
probably, if I had to guess. And we'll see if this leak is true when we probably live react to it. But
Oh
Ethan,
yeah.
let people know where they can find you.
They can find me at Twitter. Whoa, at Twitter. On
Yeah.
Twitter at WhiteCedir1 and then Gravy3448 on Xbox.
You can find me at the Muffin Mound. It's a 1-7-9, own 7A. Follow us at Project X Talk to stay up to date with all our latest videos. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, guys, for more content. Let us know your thoughts down below about this leak. And go check out our podcast and our Halo reaction videos, because
Yeah.
we're going to be doing those weekly for this season. Until next time, goodbye.